Good morning. It's a beautiful day in Manhattan, roughly 50 degrees outside and sunny, which always makes me feel bad for staying inside and never doing anything. When it's cloudy outside and gloomy, it makes sense to stay inside instead of being outside where it's all wet and cold. But when it's warm and bright, it makes it depressing that you don't even leave the house. You got nothing going on. Feels like you're wasting potential. It feels like something that would be in a Mac Miller song. I don't know. There might be, actually. I don't know. But I don't really know what I'm doing when it comes to recording these. For all I know, I'm way too loud right now, or you can't even hear me. Maybe you can only hear my breath. Maybe you can hear all the cars driving by outside. I don't know. Because I got a new mic, and it is garbage. I bought it for $20. It's used, and I don't even know if it's on right now. It might just be recording from my phone and not the mic. It doesn't have an on button. It doesn't have a light indicating it's on. So I'm kind of just hoping it's working, which I'm sure I won't end up regretting. Yeah, but I'm hoping this kind of helps me with doing comedy, because I've been doing open mics for about a month. I think I've gone up 10 or so times now, and let me tell you, it is brutal. You think you're funny, and you go up and you try to show off your talents, and let me tell you, you're not that funny. You're not going to make people laugh, and if you do, it's out of pity, which is honestly worse. It is terrible going up there and they just stare at you, and then they laugh at you, not with you, at you, because you have no idea what you're doing, and no one can tell you what to do. You just have to deal with it. So I'm hoping doing, I guess, this quote-unquote podcast will get me used to talking more. Maybe, I don't know, just get more comfortable with it, because it's almost more uncomfortable being in my room alone with just a mic, staring at a wall, talking. I at least get a reaction from the crowd, or lack of a reaction at least. Like the other day, little backstory, I got hemorrhoids. Yeah, I got a little itch in my butt, you might say, and I was at home, windows wide open, applying some hemorrhoid cream to, my booty hole like one does, and I look up outside my window on the scaffolding is one of the construction workers just staring at me, watching me. And, that was very uncomfortable. He just kind of walked away, but still not something you want people seeing. So I'm like, let's make a joke out of this. Let's tell this on stage. And you go up there, I only had 5 minutes. The whole 5 minutes just talked about hemorrhoids. And I end it with the guy catching me, putting cream on myself, and silence. All 5 minutes, silence. Like, you could hear people's eyes. I don't know what that means, but it was quiet. And it's terrible. You're so vulnerable up there. Telling them about your hemorrhoids, how hard it is as a child. I'm not a child, but, a young man having hemorrhoids. People don't really sympathize with that. People don't understand what it's like until they're, 50s, 60s up. It's not really a child's game hemorrhoids. Like, I had to go get hemorrhoid cream the other week, and I asked a worker there where the hemorrhoid cream is, because I don't know where it is. It's not like milk. I don't buy it every day. I have no idea. And he just stood or stared, didn't say anything. Like, he thought I was joking with him or something. But then once he saw I was serious, he took me over to the hemorrhoid cream and kind of let me go my way. And then I heard him start talking about it with his other co-workers, and they start giggling, like little schoolgirls. He had hemorrhoids. Yeah, it's rough out here. It's rough, it doesn't help. I don't have a job, so I'm just by myself in New York. No job. I do have money though. It's all in stocks, but still, be preferable to have an income. Maybe if I'm lucky, I'll pull a Matt Rife and, not be funny, but make a whole bunch of money. But probably not anytime soon. But, I have all this money in stocks, and I think it's only about like 15 grand. Not a whole lot, but a decent amount. And I've been thinking about just maybe, since I don't have any responsibilities, and it's my first time, making my own decisions, being on my own. Like, maybe I just sell it all, spend a month in some third world country for super cheap, living like a king, because $1 there is like $1 million to whatever their currency is. Just, getting freaking hookers and blow every night. Which I hope that's a joke. I don't know. Who knows? Once you're in a third world country, you can kind of do whatever, and I might just cut loose a little bit. But, I don't know. I heard about this place in India where there's a temple and they cremate the bodies in front of the temple. And there's a river right along the temple that people, when they die, their bodies get thrown into the river and go to this temple, and they pull the bodies out of the river to the temple and cremate them. And then they even crack their skulls open. So apparently it helps the soul leave to the next world or whatever their thing is. And you're not going to see that in America. I live in Harlem. Sure, you see people die. Like, just yesterday, a block from my house, I saw someone get shot. But that's Harlem, I want to see, all these Indians on top of the trains, using their left hand to wipe their booty. I don't know. I got the money. I don't have anything else going on. No one to tell me no. I just might do it. I don't know if it's a good idea. I do have money, but it still would be expensive. Just a plane ticket, it's almost, depending on where you're going, it'd be $1,000 to $2,000. And I don't know. And plus, I haven't even left America. I've gone to Canada for like 10 minutes. I was in Detroit, crossed the river, came right back. And that sucked. Canada sucks. Like, it's just a boring, colder, stupider, with more French America. And that's stupid. Canada's stupid. But, I don't know. You can just go to Colombia for a month. I don't even know what's in Colombia other than cocaine, which I'm not planning on doing, but I'm also, optimistic about, you might say. And, I might just go there, drop 5 to 10 grand, don't tell anyone, come back a month or so later, maybe a changed man. I don't know. I mean, this is the time to be doing stupid stuff. That's speaking of stupid. One of my aunts, I'm not gonna say her name, but one of my aunts is, well, most of my aunts are pretty dumb, but this one was specifically dumb. She told me how proud she was of me for, trying to do open mics, try comedy. And she's like, I think mid 50s. And she told me, I just learned this the other day, that if you want to succeed, you have to fail. Which, it was so sad hearing that from your aunt in her 50s, almost 60, telling you that, like she just figured it out. Like that explains, all the divorces, why she got pregnant when she was a teen. Like, I mean, I love my grandparents, but they did not do a good job teaching those kids. Honestly, that's kind of embarrassing. Like, if I was that old, just figuring that sort of thing out, I would not be telling anyone. I would act like I knew from day one. But this broad is like shocked. She's shocked. I don't think she realizes. She's shocked of her own stupidity. And, it's a good thing that nobody listens to anything I say or upload, because if I said this, there's going to be mayhem in my family. There's going to be a family meeting. They're going to think I hate everyone, that I'm a terrible person, which I am, not denying that. And I also don't deny the things I've already said about her. She's not dumb, but, she's not smart. You know what I mean? Like, she's, like I said, somewhere in her 50s, and she lives with her mom. She'll tell you it's to help her, that she's getting older, she needs someone there with her. She's fine. She doesn't need the help. You just can't get a job. You might have one. I think she cleans or something, or watches some kids, or technically she's like a nanny part-time, but whatever. She can't pay the bills, I mean, she's not like her sister, though, my other aunt, who, was addicted to pills, doesn't watch her own kids, in and out of rehab. Like me, moving across the country to New York to pay money to go on stage. To them, I'm freaking Brad Pitt. I've already achieved more than them, because I actually tried, and now I'm just being blatantly rude to them for no reason, for everyone to hear, but no one will hear it. Hopefully I don't look back and hate what I'm saying right now, because I definitely will. But that's like, I'm 20 years old, and I've been seeing a lot of videos on Instagram and YouTube of just like a 20-year-old kid who, he's got nothing going for him. He's like me. Well, he's probably better than me, to be honest. He probably at least has an income. But he or they are trying to teach you or motivate you or share their life experience when they live in some Midwest town. They haven't even left the state. They have no experience, no wisdom, no smarts. They have nothing. But yet, people listen to them. They have an audience. And they talk like they're freaking Buddha. Like they have all the answers. And I'm not disagreeing with anything they say, but it's kind of maybe arrogant. And I might be technically doing the same thing right now, but it honestly kind of makes me upset. I am one of them. I'm a child, a white little boy in America, and I have no place to be helping, putting my face out there, motivating people. You got to be listening to the people who know what they're talking about. I think, like what Kanye said. Let's ignore some of the things he said, but let's say he's a good person. He said something like, if you're poorer than me, I'm not going to listen to you, which kind of stupid, but his point is, I think, that I don't know, you get it. You would want advice from someone who knows more than you. And I guess these 20-year-old motivational speakers could be talking to the 12-year-olds, and maybe that's not so bad, but these 12-year-olds, if that's the case, need to live a life. They're in their prime. Usually, they're probably young men, young little teenage boys. That's the perfect time. That they're in their prime. You think it's in your 20s or even 30s, but it's when you're 12. It's when you're in math class and your hot teacher is making you all hard and you're trying to hide it. That's your prime. That's the truth. You trying to hide your little dinger from all the other classmates, that's exactly what the prime is. It doesn't get better than that. That's when you're too stupid to know you're dumb. You're not young enough, or you can't do anything, but you're not old enough where you're forced to do stuff. If you're lucky, at least. I mean, your parents take care of you. I mean, I guess not everyone has the same prime, but generally speaking, 12-year-olds just freaking plow through life, one erection at a time. And that's what it means to be a 12-year-old. Just being hard all the time. Because life is hard. Yeah, that's right. Write that down. You can quote me on that. 12-year-olds are hard because life is hard. Spencer. But today's Mardi Gras, which I had no idea what it is. All I know about it is people throw beads in the streets, and then I think you get flashed if you give a girl beads, because that's a valuable currency for a day or a month or ever how long this thing is. And I looked it up, and Mardi Gras just means Fat Tuesday. Apparently it's a French thing, and I think they get rid of all their fat, like actual fat that they use for like cooking and stuff for Lent, which don't even ask me what Lent is, but something with Jesus, which I don't really give a crap about. But I don't know, while these 12-year-old boys are all nice and hard going through life, there's girls in, I think it's Orlando, New Orleans or something like that, just getting beads, revealing themselves. That's life, really. And again, I hope nobody's listening to this, because I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm surprised I've even been able to talk this long, but hopefully one of these days I'll get comfortable doing this, that I can actually be funny and not just a perv, talking about children's erections. But, that's the fun of it, and that's what's great. You can just do stuff, and nobody does anything. Nobody watches. Nobody cares. I care, but no one really cares. Well, I doubt anyone listened this far, but if you did, thank you. My Venmo is in the description. I'm not saying you have to do anything with that, but if you have Venmo, you have money, do the math. I think my Instagram might be in there. Nothing's on my Instagram, no posts, but it's the thought that counts. And I would appreciate if you if you listen to this far, I'm glad you did that. Alright. Have a good one. Live your life. Read a book. Drink some water. Goodbye.